March 18th, Mike Tyson, Razor Ruddock dies. If he doesn't die, it doesn't count. If he's not dead, it doesn't count.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. The Crusher done what he does. He went and took out Bernard Hopkins, the living legend, in a fight that it went the way some people expected, but everyone thought it would be a knockout. Everyone thought a points victory would be for Hopkins. Didn't work out that way. Ade?
Yeah, I'm going to echo Oscar de la Hoya here, post-fight press conference. He said, win, lose or draw, it's a win, 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 win for Bernard Hopkins. We don't want to keep going on about his age. He does that already a lot. Pundits do it a lot, as people should be doing.
Yeah.
At 49 years old, he shouldn't even be nowhere near the ring.
Yeah.
He should be a cornerman at best. That's as close to the ring you get. And it was good to see Hopkins' trainer, Kovalev's trainer, who Hopkins fought. Yeah. That is how Hopkins should look. Yeah. Bit of a belly, bit puff around the face. Yeah. Hopkins shouldn't look anywhere near what he did. Hopkins will have one regret in that fight. And I said initially in our pre-fight preview, I said, what would Hopkins need to do to win this fight? And I said he'll need to determine with a bit of power.
Yeah.
Round 12, 2 minutes 30, Hopkins landed something and Kovalev's legs started to move a bit. Yeah. And that was the only if for me. Apart from that, happened twice. A couple of times.
Twice. I think it happened in the 5th or the 6th round. Hopkins tagged him, whether it was a left hook or a right hook. Yeah. And for a fraction, Kovalev's legs stiffed up for a second.
Yeah, they did.
I don't want to take away the point. I don't want to take away the points from no one. Cause I think everyone done good in the performances for certain reasons. Yeah. I think it was a great inspiration for Hopkins to be in the ring at that level with someone, the best guy in the division, with that power, and it showed that, you know, he is the legend, the icon that people say he is. But, you know, you got to look at Kovalev and give Kovalev mad respect. Yeah. They always say in boxing that to make an old fighter look old, you got to make him, you got to make him look old. You got to make him pressure and fight him and fight him. Kovalev showed that underrated boxing ability. Stayed in front of Hopkins the whole fight. Wherever Hopkins went, Kovalev went. Whenever Hopkins threw, Kovalev threw. He put so much pressure on Hopkins, not over pressure, effective pressure. Just constantly balanced, constantly in front of him all the time, and didn't give Hopkins a chance to breathe.
Yeah, look, for Kovalev, a lot of criticisms before the fight, if they were criticisms, were like, can he do the 12 rounds? Yeah. Does he have enough boxing ability? And sometimes those questions can only be asked of you or answered from you if you have someone in front of you that makes you do the 12 rounds, that makes you show your boxing ability. Before that, Kovalev has literally blown everyone away within sort of 6, 7, 8 rounds. That's it, they've all gone. Hopkins made him show like, okay, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to show something here. What surprised me more than anything was he outboxed Hopkins. Yeah. I didn't expect that. Yeah. I didn't expect him to outbox Hopkins. He put the pressure on every minute of every round, and Hopkins was having to work on the back foot a lot. Hopkins is great on the back foot, but he also is good on the forward foot. Yeah. And I think that the back foot wasn't good for Hopkins, especially for 12 rounds. It just wasn't Hopkins' style.
Normally Hopkins could kind of get him with the right hand, you know, he shoots it over the top, gets under you and gets out. Yeah. He couldn't get out because as soon as he threw, Kovalev threw as well, and that stopped Hopkins from actually getting under the shot, so Hopkins had problems. Hopkins showed some defensive greatness in that fight a lot of the time, especially the lateral movement. It looked tremendous. But Kovalev, like I said, was just constantly landing good shots. I'm surprised Hopkins stayed up. There was a few times in the fight where Hopkins was literally buckled over with shots. I think the one in the 7th round, he set him halfway across the ring. And he took it and stayed in there. You know what I mean? Credit to Kovalev though, like in the fight, Kovalev acknowledged how good Hopkins is. Not even taking into account his age, just saying the guy's a fucking good fighter, you know what I mean? He's the second best in the division besides me. But Kovalev, I think, I think he answered a lot of questions, but again, he actually left a couple of answers as well.
Which ones?
Honestly, truly, like, if you look at the fight, honestly, Kovalev did look tired after round 8 and 9. He was breathing a little bit heavier, and he's got to his ropes, and you can see that, you know, he's never been that distance before, so he had to get used to that. And it showed down. Also, it showed that people said Kovalev doesn't get hit a lot. When he does get hit with good shots, tactical shots, he can be stopped on his feet. Not stopped. Once he's stopped, not hurt, i.e. his momentum stops.
No, yeah. A couple of good points you raised there. And Hopkins, you wouldn't say Hopkins is a concussive power puncher. No. Especially at 49. Hopkins at 35, 36, yeah. You know, the Hopkins that stopped, what's his name again? Puerto Rican, can't remember his name now.
Trinidad.
Exactly. Hopkins then had power. Hopkins right now is more of a counter puncher, can put you down as he's proven in his last few fights, but really and truly, Hopkins really shouldn't be making someone stumble. Yeah. He made Kovalev stumble, which I guess for someone like Stevenson, who might be next, he's probably looking at thinking, if I land a power shot on you, could be interesting.
Yeah, Hopkins made Kovalev stumble a couple of times, but it's also a little tactical with the foot as well.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Hopkins hits you with a shot, has his foot in front of you, so it takes you off balance as well. So, you know, it's all a tactical game as well. The last round of the fight, I think, was very distressing. I think for Hopkins, someone that's known for defensive ability, known for, you know, not just footwork, lateral movement, hand placement, head movement, he took too many clean shots in the last round. Yeah. And I think that shows that obviously the age has now finally caught up with Hopkins. And even though he didn't go down, and it's a credit to himself, that should be his last fight.
Yeah, you know what?
And I'm a big Hopkins fan.
Yeah. You think? He's got a tattoo. No, I'm joking. Look, you're right. Hopkins took far too many shots in the 12th round. And it's almost lucky in a sense it was the 12th round, because I think Kovalev's power by that time had completely waned. Yeah. You said he was getting tired from the 8th. Yeah. So you can imagine 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. They were busy rounds as well. Yeah. No, it's not like anyone had a relaxing rounds. The thing for Hopkins is, will he retire? I've said it on probably 4 or 5 of Hopkins' last fights that he should retire. Not because I think Hopkins couldn't handle the guys, because he probably can still handle a lot of the guys at light heavyweight. But
proved it already, could.
Exactly, but the guys that are there now, i.e. Stevenson, and this kid coming through, I can't pronounce his name. Yeah. These guys look like dangerous guys, dangerous, hard, concussive punchers. It is a credit to Hopkins that he didn't go down, but at the same time, I would have preferred him to go down and stop. That's it. You know, if Hopkins gets knocked out and down, he's retiring 100%. Hopkins now was like, yeah, I'm 50-50 whether I will or won't. And I think that's a dangerous thing.
I think styles make fights. And Kovalev, in my opinion now, Kovalev is the number 1 in the division. Of course. Stevenson has the ring title, but he's not the number 1. Kovalev's the number 1. Yeah, styles make fights. Stevenson could not fight the style what Kovalev did, and Stevenson couldn't put Hopkins in the same type of pressure he did. Stevenson has his hands down, is more of a counter puncher, has a very low work rate. So someone like Hopkins could think, yeah, I've got shots to get stuff on them. Whereas Stevenson doesn't walk you down the way Kovalev does. So it's a style thing where Hopkins will look at fights and say, guess what? That style suits me better. But stuff like with Chad Dawson, stuff like with Kovalev, certain styles, that busier style, I mean, especially guys that could jab, could use range, is too much for him now. So he should retire, but I don't know if he's going to do it.
Where does Kovalev go?
Kovalev's top of the division. Kovalev proved everyone right and wrong in that certain way. He is a puncher, but he is a boxer. He is a thinker. Going 12 with Hopkins will take him further in his career now. So as good as we saw him last night, I think he's going to be better from that experience. I think
and winning every round.
Yeah, I think every round. Winning every round against Hopkins is amazing.
49 or not, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm praying Stevenson grows some balls, because he's not fighting no one. Stevenson don't want to fight Hopkins, didn't want to fight Kovalev, didn't want to fight Pascal. That fight needs to be made, and if that fight goes ahead, I'm going for Kovalev for sure.
I would. Although Stevenson is there, and I like Stevenson being there, I like him Pascal as an opportunity to fight him. I think, for some reason, I don't know what it is, there's something about me that thinks Jean Pascal beat Stevenson. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I just feel like Jean Pascal could beat Stevenson. And maybe it's because of experience. I mean, Pascal's been in there, we know, with Butte, with Dawson, with Hopkins. Yeah. Done with okay in all of them. With Froch, exactly. He's got the speed, he's got the power. He's almost like a younger Stevenson. He's kind of built like that as well. I like to see him against Kovalev. I think they almost need to not forget about Stevenson, but almost act like Stevenson isn't the only thing out there. There are other guys coming out in the light heavyweight division. Could he go to cruiserweight? Kovalev? Nah. He's too small for cruiserweight.
He looked much bigger than Hopkins in the ring.
I thought that as well. That's the reason I asked that. But I'd love to know what he weighed in the ring. He looked a lot bigger than Hopkins.
If you know Hopkins' history, as a middleweight, he had a 26-inch waist. Yeah, he's not a big guy. He's tall, as in what?
Probably puts nothing on. Yeah,
he's tall, as in 6'1", but he's not. He doesn't have broad shoulders. He doesn't have a big frame. Now, I mean, he's very what's the word?
He's almost like Froch, where Froch can't go to light heavy. Yeah, these guys are that's their weight. Yeah.
Hopkins went up in weight strictly because of the thyroid problem he had. Yeah. It's not really. He's not like he's the light heavyweight. He's former light heavyweight champion, 2-time light heavyweight champion, but he's not really a big light heavyweight. So Kovalev is a legit light heavyweight. He's got the size.
There's final question, and it's not something we're very interested in, but a lot of the people out there have asked already. Does Kovalev enter the pound for pound list now?
No.
Doesn't enter the top 10 pound for pound list, being the number 1 light heavyweight in the world.
Interesting.
No,
he's definitely made a shout out for him, and beating Hopkins is definitely a great thing. We had Hopkins on our pound for pound list and everything, but you know, Kovalev done what he's supposed to do, and he treated a fighter. He treated an old fighter like an old fighter. Okay, that's the reason why.
Okay, there you go, guys. Look, that's our Hopkins versus Kovalev post-fight breakdown. Hopkins, hopefully he retires, but like Ryan says, styles make fights. And he's probably going to look at someone else's style out there and thinks, not as tough as Kovalev, I can probably have that fight. Do you know what I mean? It's more money for Hopkins as well. Where does Kovalev go? Look, the Stevenson fight's out there, but there's other fights out there now as well. Pascal's out there. Bute now linked with Freddie Roach is out there as an opportunist. And there's also that Berbatov, I can't pronounce his name, but the guy that I think knocked him down twice as an amateur. Yeah. So I guess like some sort of revenge missions out there as well. What do you guys think? Where does either man go? Does Hopkins retire? Ryan says no, but is Kovalev on the top 10 pound for pound list right now? Leave the comments below, email us them at
Boxtalk at hotmode.co.uk, and don't forget us on Twitter at Boxtalk UK.
Also guys, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for all the subscribers so far, and thanks for watching this edition of Boxtalk.